We woke up this morning to news that the US price of oil had fallen below zero and was trading at minus $37 a barrel. Now, the first question that pops up is, how is this even possible? How can a barrel of crude be worth less than zero? Well, this is what happened. This is not the current price of crude. It's not like someone walked up to another person to buy some oil and this is what they're paying. This is the future price of crude. So futures and options basically trade something for next month, saying that I will buy this from you next month at this price. That's done to maintain or to remove some of the volatility on the price. But when that contract has begun to expire, the trader has two choices. They can either accept the crude physically or sell the contract to somebody else or renew it with somebody else. Now, here's what happened. The May contract came up for renewal, and the traders who were holding it realized that nobody wants that oil because demand of oil has crashed around the world. There are no planes, there are no cars, everyone's in a lockdown. Nobody wants to use the oil. So they found no takers for the contracts that they were holding. And obviously traders cannot accept, or they can't take oil barrels home and keep them in their houses. So nobody wanted this. They had to start paying people to buy these contracts off their hands, literally paying people to say, take these barrels of oil off my hands, which is how it went into minus. So $37 is what the trader was paying someone to buy the contract off them. This happened specifically for two reasons. One, the demand has crashed. Two, the May contracts had come up for renewal in the US. The question is, what happens in India? We don't buy our oil from the US. We buy our oil from the OPEC countries, from the oil producing Emirati countries, Arab countries that are close to us. Now, there the price is trading at about $20 a barrel. It's not zero and it's not in minus, it's about $20 a barrel. Now, $20 a barrel is a lot lower than what we're normally used to. But the question, if you're going to ask, is will the price of petrol come down for you and me? The answer is highly unlikely. Now, we know that we're paying about between 75 and 80 rupees per litre of petrol across the country, although none of us are using our cars right now. A large amount of that money is state and central taxes. Central government taxes, which is excise duty, and state government taxes as well. And then there's a cess and there's a tax on the cess. In order for the price to come down, the government needs to start cutting taxes on petrol. That seems to be a really unlikely thing to happen, because right now there's a lot of pressure for money on both state and central governments. The central government is having to spend a great deal fighting COVID, and state governments, they don't have too much income from GST. The only things outside of GST are alcohol and fuel. Now, alcohol sale has been banned, and fuel nobody is buying. So the odds that either state or central government will cut taxes and reduce their own income at a time when they desperately need it seems highly unlikely. So the next question is this a good thing? Now, I have normally been a very, very vocal advocate of the idea that the government of India must cut its taxes and pass on the benefit of lower crude prices to citizens or customers of oil. This time, under this circumstance, though, I have a different opinion. I believe that the government should use this money that it gets through taxes to look after the poorest people in the country. That is, of course, to make sure that those are the front lines, the doctors, the nurses, the sanitation workers have complete protection, whatever that takes, to buy as many testing kits as we need, because they need to be imported, and to feed and clothe and look after the daily wage and migrant laborers who desperately need our help at this point. I believe from a longer economic point of view, if we make sure that these people are looked after, our recovery will be quicker and we'll be able to get back on our feet faster. So, should the government cut its taxes and pass on that benefit? Right now, I think maybe not. Of course, we're not using our cars right now, so it makes no difference at all what the government does. But even after that, if there is a benefit on the table, maybe, in my opinion at least, and I'm not the expert, in my opinion, I believe that the government should collect these taxes at this point, make up for the pit in the fiscal deficit, and use the money to look after the poor.